Welcome. So, are we really happy now? Now that we have all these materialistic things which are so important to us, what shoes we wear, what clothes we wear, what vehicle we drive is important, what phone we have and does it have the upgrades, and what house we live in and can we afford it really. It's all about show and tell. This is supposed to make us happy, isn't it? But how many people really are happy or just pretending they are? I knew an older man in Canada who lived way out in the boondocks on a small dirt road that went really nowhere too much. This man lived in a trailer off the road. It wasn't a fantastic trailer, it was just a basic trailer. It had an aerial where they could get maybe 3 or 4 TV stations if the weather was right. The nearest store was about 6 or 7 miles away. It was only one store, but it sold quite a lot of stuff. But sometimes he had to go to the big city, and this was another smaller town that may have had 3 shops in it, and that was about 12, 13 miles away. Sometimes he'd go to the town and visit some people, but not that often, only occasionally, and to get supplies, of course. This older man didn't have a great big 4-wheel drive truck. It was just an old GM, a little bit banged up. It was almost as old as I was at the time, but it still ran very good. It was a V8, and he used to take it into the forest on some dirt roads he knew, and he could go way back into the forest. And most days, he would go into the forest and take a look and see what was happening there. Maybe just sit there and contemplate life. There was beaver dams he could look at and watch otters playing on top of the beaver dam. He could tell where the deer had traveled during the night. He could tell whether there was any bear activity by seeing rocks being rolled over the night or early morning. Yes, the forest can tell a story for sure if you know where to look. And I know that some of you people out there are thinking this man should have got closer to a bigger city where he could actually have lived and had something. But this man lived there until he died. And believe me, he was happy where he was. This man was my father. And he showed me that happiness isn't anything about materialistic stuff at all. Because he pretty well died with nothing. But he had everything. Most of the young people I see now are obsessed with materialistic stuff. They're so shallow. They got no depth to them at all. And yet they're not really happy. And they will die unhappy. Even if they're surrounded by all these materialistic things. What are they going to do? Take it with them? You see, it's not how long we live. It's how we live it. And how fulfilled we are.
Hey, thank you for that. That really made me kind of think a lot.